Hey everybody, Glenn here with another HGA Reveal video. We're going to try this a second time. I already did this once, and it seems like every time I turn the streaming stuff on, for some reason it wants to shut my microphone off every once in a while, and I didn't notice it. So, no sound. So we're going to go back through these real quick. This wasn't a blind review. I know the little thing on YouTube says it was, but I actually... these got shipped back to me like literally the day they updated their website, where they started showing grades, and I didn't know about it till I actually went to the website to look and see what was going on, and then I saw my grades. So this is not a blind review. I actually know what these cards got. Obviously before, I already did this video once, but I knew what they were before I even got them in the mail today. So I got some pretty cool cards here to show you. I'm not going to belabor the point a whole lot. I will go through the turnaround time real quick. So this is what the turnaround time was. This was a 60-day order, 8 cards. I shipped these out on the 16th of June. It took about 3 days to get there, and they received them in on the very same day they got them, so a little bit ahead of schedule from that point of view. So they got them, submitted in by the 18th, when I wasn't really expecting that to happen until the 22nd. Days in grading process, obviously I anticipated 61 business days. In this case, we were crossing through. I should have actually put that at 62 days now that I'm looking at it, because it crossed over Labor Day and the 4th of July. So that should have been 62 days instead of 61. It ended up taking them 67. And then they shipped it back to me on the 21st. Took 2 days to get back. So it says here it took 72 days against a 67 expectation. Now that I'm looking at it, it should have been a 68 expectation. So that would have made it about 4 days over. I do know it sounds like they've been having some COVID problems there. That's probably putting some stuff behind. I do have a 30-day that was due back to me today that hasn't even been scanned yet. Actually, I take that back. No, it did get scanned. It did get graded. I think it might have got graded today, but then I've got a couple more 60 days ones due back to me. I want to say next Thursday it should be back to me, but it's still sitting in the scan stage. It hasn't even made it in the grading yet, so I'm kind of anticipating that to be a little bit late as well. But being an ops manager and knowing how crazy COVID's been, I can definitely attest to how disruptive COVID can be to the workplace when you have an outbreak or something. So I'm not gonna give them too much grief about being a few days late. So that said, we're just gonna get right into it. So first card here is actually a junk wax card. I pulled this card from a box that I had bought. I bought a box of 1989 Pro Set, just because to me, every once in a while, I enjoy, ripping a older box of product, because I think it's fun. I think a lot of people, think of junk wax and say, oh well, it's not worth anything. But if you can get a nice graded one, pack fresh one, there's lots of it, but a lot of people didn't take care of it either. So anyways, the first card up was a 1989 Deion Sanders rookie card. Let me see if I can flip this light off, and then no, that ain't gonna help. There's a little bit of glare on these because I already put them in their plastic sleeves, so I apologize for that. But this was a 1989 Deion Sanders. You can see the centering on the back, a little off here, top to bottom. But nothing significant. Other than that, it looked really good. And this card ended up getting a 9.5 gem mint. 9.5s across the board with the exception of centering. Ended up getting a 9. This is a card match neutral label. So I think that looks really good with this card. You can see that the centering on the front's really nice. That was one of the reasons why I took it. And these Pro Sets, a lot of times, just because of the type of pack they were in, the edges get really frayed. But this one looks really good, and the grades support that. So really happy with this. I think it's a really nice grade for this particular card. Second up, we got a Nick Chubb. So everybody that's watched my videos knows I got a pretty decent Nick Chubb collection, and I like to get them graded. So this one's actually from 2019 Prism. This is a 5 out of 15 camo variant, or parallel. This did get a custom label on it, and I'm really, really happy with the way this came out. You can see that label matches the card almost perfectly, with the orange and the brown for the team and the red by his name, and then the camo in the back. I think this just turned out great aesthetically. Grade wise, it didn't get as good as I was hoping for. I got a 9 on corners, surface, and centering. We've got a 9.5 on edges. So it got a 9, which I'd like to see a little bit better than a 9 out of a 25 serialized number card. This is the second year, so it's not even a rookie. So normally I wouldn't send something in that I didn't think was going to gem, unless it was like super short print. But Nick Chubb's my favorite player, and I think this just looks fantastic in this slab. So I'm pretty satisfied with the 9. Next one up is, again, another card from 2019, Prism. Back then, this is actually a case hit. So, I mean, the case hit most people are familiar with, obviously, is the Color Blast, which I think in 19 was like 1 in every 10 cases you got a Color Blast card. So they're like super short print. This was one of the case hits. So back then there was the Breakthrough, Aurora, I think Illumination was one of them. There's like 3 or 4 different case hits, and this was the Breakthrough case hit for Nick Chubb. So you can see it. I ended up going with the neutral team match on this because I really like the way that looks on simpler cards. This card's not a very flashy parallel. It is a case hit, and it's kind of got this like little swirl background here that might have looked pretty cool on a custom. But overall, I'm really happy with this. Grade wise, we got a 10 on corners, 9.5 on edges, surface, and a 9 on centering. So a 9.5 overall. Just missed a true gem. But for a case hit, I'm happy with that. A really nice grade. I think it looks great slab. And I don't know if, HGA is using like a different acrylic on these or not, but it seems to me like over some of my last orders, these cases look really clear. I'm really happy with that. So next one up, shocker. This will be the last Nick Chubb of this break. So this one is actually from 2020 Prism. This is just a Fireworks insert. The reason I sent this in to get it graded, as you can see down here, is this is a gold vinyl short print, numbered 4 out of 5. So I went ahead and got this sent in, and this ended up getting a 9.5 as well. So you can see I got a 9.5 on corners, surface, and centering, and then a 10 on edges. The fireworks in the background on that look pretty sweet, along with the kind of yellowish gold and the orange over here to match the colors on the card. Overall, I'm very happy with that. I think it's a very nice looking card. Very happy with the grade for such a short print. So yeah, this is very satisfied with this one. Nice addition to the collection for sure. And then the next one up, so now we're going to get into the Bakers. This is actually an 11 out of 25 parallel from 2020 Honors. I actually sent in I had 2 of these. I had this one out of 25 and I had another one out of 15. I had sent the one out of 15 in already, expecting it to get a 9.5. I even actually thought it had a shot at flawless, or pristine at least, and it ended up getting a 9, so I guess that goes to show what I know. It had some surface issues that apparently I missed. So sent this one in as well, and this one ended up coming back a true Gem Mint 9.5. So you can see that ended up getting 9.5s across the board in every major category. This was a custom label. I'm not in love with it. I don't mind it, honestly. If this color up here, this orangish color, was more of this like reddish color on the card itself, I think it would be more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm not in love with the label, but I'm super happy with the card and having a Baker out of 25, true gem. I'm satisfied with that. So great Baker Mayfield there to add to my pile of Bakers. And then this one here is also a Baker Mayfield. This one, again, this was kind of my Prism submission, if you can't tell. This was a 2019 Prism. Again, another gold vinyl, 4 out of 5 for Baker Mayfield. And this one got a 9.5 as well. You can see it ended up getting a 9 on corners, 9.5 on surface, 10 on edges, and a 9.5 on centering. Really like the way the custom label came out on that, the way they matched up the gold and the red to accentuate that card. I think this looks fantastic. This is probably one of my favorite non-auto cards that I've got graded with HGA so far. HGA as far as the card and the label accentuating one another, getting that nice 9.5 Gem Mint. This is just a beautiful slab in my opinion. Love that one. Okay, and then I put the title on this as guaranteed flawless. A little bit of play on words here. I said, you know what? If I've only got one flawless out of the 50-some cards I've submitted, so we'll generate a flawless on our own by sending in some flawless cards. This was the first one I sent in. This is from 2019 Flawless. This is a Bernie Kosar patch auto, numbered out of 15. You see the grade up here, got a 10 on the autograph. And then I went with a neutral team match on this one. Came back a 9.0 with a 8.5 corners, 9 on edges, centering, and surface. So you see this is an on-card auto, numbered 2 out of 15 there, if I can get that to focus right. So this I just thought was a great card. Being a Browns fan, Kosar is, a legend. So nice low numbered on card, nice patch. I wasn't, with this being such a thick card, you can kind of see how thick this holder is. This even has a little bit of bowing in it actually, but I'm not enough that I'm going to send it back. I really wanted to get this slabbed up. I took a chance on it because it did have some imperfections, obviously, with it being such a thick card. I've actually got this same card out of 5, I believe. I think it's the emerald version. So this, this border here is like a green with the green lettering. But it definitely had a few more flaws on it than this one did. Because these ones weren't encased coming out of the flawless box. It was just, in the box itself. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the 9. I was kind of expecting between an 8.5 and a 9. I was hoping for the 9. I did end up getting the corner 8.5, but got enough 9s out of there to pull the 9 in. I think this is probably the lowest 9 I can get. If any of those other subgrades have been an 8.5, I'd have been in 8.5 territory. So satisfied with this. Love the look of it. So clean. These flawless cards with that neutral match, just such a clean look. And then this last one, saved the best for last. This is from 2018 Flawless, actually. You can see this only got a 9 on the auto, and I'll show you why on the front. But this is a Jim Brown short print. There you go. So this is actually a 7 out of 10 on-card Jim Brown auto from 2018 Flawless. True gem mint on a thicker card out of Flawless. I was super happy with that. So 9.5s across the board. Again, the neutral team match just looks so clean on a Flawless card. You can see down here in the auto, there's like a little blemish right there on the J. That's, I think, why I ended up getting a 9 on the auto instead of a 10. But yeah, this is definitely a centerpiece of my collection. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. So very, very satisfied with this. So overall, guys, this was a great submission for me. Like I said, it was a little bit late on a 60-day, but nothing significant. And with the COVID thing going on, I can kind of understand, where things were coming from. I did go ahead and put together kind of how I've done as far as gem rates are concerned. I've heard a lot of people complaining that HGA doesn't give out enough 10s because they've, all kind of been a little bit brainwashed by PSA to think that a 10 is perfect when it's not. It's really a gem mint. Everybody out there that's a big old PSA junkie is going to get on me and say, oh, well, your 9.5 is not the same as a 10. Well, yeah, it is really. I mean, if you look at a PSA label, it says 10 gem mint. It doesn't say 10 pristine, 10 flawless. It says 10 gem mint, which means from a card condition perspective, a 9.5, this 9.5, is the equivalent of a PSA 10. No one wants to hear that. They'll say, oh, it's not in value, they don't sell that way. But from a card condition perspective, which, listen to me out there, collectors. Card condition, that's why you grade cards, is card condition. This is the same as a PSA 10. So I wanted to see what my gem rate was. So out of the, let's just see here, 53 cards that I've sent in so far, I've got 1 flawless and 1 pristine 10. So I'm, pulling in about, 1.9% each of those. 25 of those cards came back a 9.5 gem, so about 47.2%. So all in, I'm averaging just a little bit over 50% on cards I've submitted for a gem grade or higher. And then 22 of them will come back 9s, about 41.5%, and then 4 of them have come back less than 9s, which is about 7.5%. Which even those 8.5s, I mean, I kind of knew one was a 101 chub that had some, obvious flaws on it. They came back in 8.5. I had a couple junk wax cars that came back 8.5s, and I think I had one that had a pretty nasty print line. It was one of my first submissions that had a pretty nasty print line on it. Got like a 7.5 or something on the surface, and 9.5s on everything else, but ended up pulling an 8.5 as a result of that. So overall, I think I've got a pretty good gem rate going. Most of these cars that got 9s or less, I kind of knew it was a long shot to get a 9.5. So really, I don't buy into the whole, they need to give out more 10s crap, if that isn't obvious by now. And my personal opinion, the card condition is the card condition. If you want a 10, send a 10 in to get graded. If you want a 9.5 gem, send a 9.5 in to get graded. If you send, I knew this card here. I knew there was a good shot it was going to get an 8.5 or 9. The fact that they got a 9 and just pretty much the lowest 9 you can possibly get is not a surprise, because that's what this card truly is. Now, could I have sent it to PSA and probably got a 9 and it'd be more valuable? Sure, because people, still associate PSA with, a PSA 10 with perfect, and it's not. But anyways, so I'm extremely happy with it. My gem rate's, going really well. I'm very satisfied. I've got a lot of HGA cards in my collection. You saw I've had 50 some graded already. I've only sold a few. I've done a few giveaways, when I was doing breaks with some of the cards. And I've sold a few online here and there, but overall I'd say most of these have been from my PC. And not necessarily because I don't want to sell them. Well, because I couldn't sell them. But because, I'm keeping them. I'm holding them until, a later date. And sometime when, I'm ready to retire and stop collecting cards, I'll sell them. But for the time being, they're from my PC, and I really enjoy the HGA slab. So, overall, like I said, it was a little bit late. No real issues. This thicker case here is a little bit warped. But like I said, nothing significantly enough that I'm going to send anything back. All the labels I'm very satisfied with. This one here is a little bit meh, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to send it back for that. They've got enough crap going on. It looks okay. So, with that being said, guys, another great reveal as far as I'm concerned. Very, very satisfied with the grades. Very satisfied with the whole process in general. No issues. I don't have any issues on the labels themselves. The grades are all calculated properly. I don't see any, thing trapped inside the case. All the labels look like they're cut nice. Everything just looks tip-top. So these guys last 4 or 5 orders I've had with them have been really good. Like I said, the last 3 before this were right on time, or even a couple days early in one case. So this is the first one that's been late in a while. And from a quality issue perspective, this is probably the 4th one in a row that I've had 0 quality issues. So they really are getting better. I like what they've been doing with their website. Lots of good updates. The pop report still leaves a little bit to be desired for me. It's still a little scattershot, and it kind of looks like it's getting sloppy again, where like if you go and look up like Prism draft picks, there's like three in there because one doesn't have a capital letter, and so on and so forth. But they're still a new company. I encourage you guys to support these new companies. I think PSA's been living in the lap of luxury for far too long. I think they're honestly at this point, with some of these newer grader companies coming out, they're really providing an inferior product. Unfortunately, there's just so much of it out there. Collectors can't completely shun it because they don't want the value of their existing collections to go down. So, I don't really expect people to stop paying what they're paying for a Gem 10 PSA, but I would encourage people that if you see a card like this, almost 295 Dion 89, this should pull the same value as a 10 PSA. And if it's not, it has nothing to do with card condition at that point. It just has to do with, it's like a brand, you know what I mean? It's same quality. The card is the card. In fact, I'd say a 9.5 HGA in a lot of cases is probably better than a 10 PSA from a card condition perspective. yet we undervalue it just because it doesn't say PSA and Gem Mint doesn't have a 10 above it. So anyways, I'll get up my soapbox on that. So overall, great break. If you like great reveal. If you like the content, please like the channel. I also have a Facebook group. Excuse me. I do breaks every Friday, just some inexpensive things. It's fun for me to rip some wax and have some fun with some friends. So if you're interested in that, those are usually up on eBay's. I usually upload them on Saturday nights, and then we'll break the following Friday night. And then I've also got some, cards going up on eBay for sale. My username there is Deviation SCB. Got a lot of positive feedback. Never had a negative. Take pride in making sure the cards are protected when I send them out to people and getting them out in a timely fashion. So please check all that out. And with that all said and done, guys, thank you. I have a few more coming back. I've got a 4-day that I'm hoping to get back sometime next week. I've got 2 more 60 days. One, if it's on time, I should get back next week as well. And then another one that should be coming in late October. And then I'm going to be sending some new ones out here shortly. One to SCG, one to CSG, and then probably a couple more to HGA. So hopefully I'll be able to keep the videos coming, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.